All right, everybody, round two, here we go. We are so excited to bring Mr. Michael Mager and Reginald Scurry into the real estate and mortgage breakdown of their industry. If you missed the last one, it is live session this round. But if you would like to watch the first session, we also have that saved on our YouTube channel at Get Connected LLC. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. To kick off this whole thing, let's hear about your industry, a little bit about you. So can I start with you, Mr. Michael Mager?
Sure. My industry is the mortgage industry. It's for anybody that's trying to buy a house or a condo. That's we help them finance that ability to do that, help them figure out what they can afford to do and what they cannot afford to do. We work pretty diligently with them on that and getting their mortgages on a timely basis in which they go ahead and buy it when they bought their house or refinance their home. My background is basically I have an undergraduate degree from college, and I've been doing this basically about 8 years.
Mr. Scurry.
Yes, sir.
Give us a little bit about your background and introduce yourself to the people.
Reggie Scurry. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker. I've been licensed as a realtor since 2012. I got into the industry to kind of help balance out my personal life as I take care of my child. And I found out there's a good way for me to help people. I spend most of my days helping people figure out if they should rent or buy. They should buy. And then hooking them up with people like Michael to get them a mortgage so that we can secure their home. I consider myself not a salesperson, but a help person. I pride myself in having information and knowledge of the industry, and I'm a certified negotiations expert.
And that I will agree to, an expert at that negotiations. But you know, we talked about in the last session a little bit about the industry and, you know, how COVID-19 has impacted the industry as a whole. And as, you know, some people have gone on and we look at grocery workers and gas station clerks, they're able to still work, but in a hazardous, if you will, environment. But we kind of wanted to hear, how is COVID-19 impacting your industry right now? And I'll let either one of you that want to pick up there.
I mean, I will tell you the COVID industry and COVID virus in some ways, in a lot of ways, specifically in the state of Florida, has actually, I would say, created a boom in a sense, a real estate boom. There's pockets here where actually real estate is selling like in a hot market. And because of that, with realtors being very busy, we're very busy because we're doing the financing on these homes. There's a lot of people basically from New York, New Jersey that are looking to get out of New York, New Jersey and stay down here permanently, or make sure that they get out of an urban area and into a rural area. And it has made this area a hot spot. So really, and where a lot of the nation is hurting, I would say here, at least in the real estate market and specifically in the mortgage market, and also because interest rates have been so low, historic lows, people have been refinancing. So we've been really, really busy. It's been insanely busy, and it's a good thing. But the way we got here, I know everybody would rather come another way, but we've definitely been extremely busy.
And Reggie, I'll let you pick up if you have any.
Yeah, I haven't noticed a effect on my business as far as the numbers go. I've been very busy with people moving to the area from up north, as well as people upsizing where they currently live. And also, I do have some clients that are waiting for the COVID, I guess, restrictions to get lifted, because as they could have bought before, they're now, you know, the lenders, and Michael can speak to this, the lenders they have a slightly tighter requirements for lending. So I have some people just waiting for this to end so that they can buy. But as far as the industry and how COVID has affected, I haven't noticed any drastic reductions in sales.
Well, that's great. So, my background is in education, and I was a high school teacher, and I was in a career program called DECA. And with that career program, we really were trying to teach the students about the different types of jobs within an industry. So, when we looked at marketing, we talked about, there's an analyst, there's somebody that's doing the sales approach, there's somebody that's doing social media trends and topics online to get that buyer. Is there some industries that you can some in the industry that you can tell us about jobs that people may not know about within the industry?
Well, with the real estate industry, we run our own practice. I'm a broker associate, which means I could start my own company. I just don't want the administrative challenges that comes with that. But I have a small team that I work with, and within that team, I have someone that works on the marketing to draw people into our group. I have someone that's a transaction coordinator that does a lot of administrative work. And then I basically run out and I meet with people and speak with them. I guess I would be the salesperson, but as I told you before, I think I'm a help person. I just have the knowledge, I give information and let people make their own decisions. Something else that a lot of companies are going with is a transaction coordinator. If you don't want to be the hands-on, salary only, commission only person, and you want a steadier check, which limits your income when you have a steady check, you could be a transaction coordinator. They're highly important because it frees up people like me to go out and meet with more people, go out and do more networking, go out and do more events like this to get the word out. And then I know a lot of offices also have office administrators that run the entire office. So that's another thing that a lot of people don't know about in real estate that they could do. And I know some teams have social media experts where all they do all day is social media. That is the new wave, whether you like it or not. That's how people get business, and that's how people get clients. So those are a few of the, I guess, non-traditional real estate roles that are available for people that don't want to actually be a realtor.
Awesome.
I think in my industry, it's there's a lot of overlap, so to speak. You have someone like myself who's a mortgage broker, or you have somebody that works specifically for a bank, and they're the broker or the banker as far as the mortgage for anybody that comes in or deals with that certain bank. But even within the bank or even in the mortgage broker industry, there's a tier of individuals behind that really are crucial in getting a mortgage done. And a lot of that is in the loan processing. And there's right now, because we're at such a boom in the mortgage industry, there is a lot of firms, a lot of companies that are hiring mortgage people in this capacity. It's I just saw today there was at least 10 companies posting employment in the mortgage industry, specifically at mortgage processing, which is a relatively neat job and really helping gathering information on individuals to put a mortgage package together in order to get it into underwriting. But within that, there's just other apps, and it overlaps the same with Reggie's business. Is you have appraisers, you have inspections, all that has to be done by individuals in order to verify the collateral of the house, so to speak, or the condo that's being underwritten. So there's a lot of overlap, and in the sense a lot of other ways to go in this industry, depending on what your interests are. So yeah.
And would just continue on you, Michael. Is there a degree that you must go and obtain, or is there a certification you should obtain if you want to get into this type of field?
I'm not aware that there's any degree in a sense. I think most people like to see you have an undergraduate degree if you had it, but I don't, in my opinion, I don't think it's crucial in order to succeed in this. I think there's basically looking for people that understand common sense. I think if you can read, tax returns and things like that, that does help, but you can be taught that. You do have to take a national exam in order to be certified, in order to be a mortgage broker. And that exam is not an easy exam, but everybody has to take it. You have to get a 75 on it in order to pass. And once you get that, you're free to, at least in whatever state you're in, you're free to go ahead and hang your shingle and become a mortgage broker.
And Reggie, I know we we talked a lot about, real estate and, do I want to buy a house? Do I want to rent a house? And of course you have already beat into me, buy, 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 buy. But with that has to come knowledge about the industry. So how did you grasp that knowledge to be able to share with individuals, real estate?
Yeah. So to begin in real estate, you have to take a pre-licensing course, 63 hours, online or in person. I know myself, I could never learn online. So I went in person. I took a week off and I got it done over a week. You have to pass that course, which everyone does. The state exam for the state of Florida is taken through Person View online on a computer. That is an extremely complicated exam, which
I think we lost your audio.
but not a lot of realtors are actually working. The laws are constantly changing. The rules are constantly changing. So you actually have to be active in real estate to gain the knowledge. You have to actually take classes to keep the knowledge going. So a lot of my time is spent traveling throughout the state, going to different courses. Like I became a certified negotiations expert. There's other type of designations you can get as well to set yourself apart from your other realtors and the other competition. So, and then again, you get the knowledge by actually doing the work, making the mistakes and learning from them. So I do about 30 deals a year on average. So over the past 8 years, I've made some mistakes and I've learned from them, but you get a lot of knowledge by actually doing the work. And again, same with Mike, you don't need a college degree for this. You could get started right away. I actually wish I would have started when I was younger because I believe my business would have been a lot more successful than if I would have just started in 2012.
So we did lose part of what you said, Reggie, and a little piece of there, but I think you picked it back up to right where you said, doing and failing sometimes is okay.
Right.
Just for you to learn a little bit harder. So where did you all start? Did you start as in mortgage and real estate, or did you have a profession before this?
So I was a police officer, and getting a little personal, which is part of who I am. I had some mental illness in my family, and I had to take care of my child. So I needed to have a career that allowed me flexibility to work when I needed to work and to pick him up when he needed to be picked up and to take him to various practices and events. So as I'm thinking about a career change, real estate popped up. Of course, I was used to every 2-week paycheck, and that was nice. And it scared me going commission only, but I was forced to do that because I had to take care of my child. So, and again, I have my family here to help me and things of that nature. So I knew I had a backup plan if I needed, but that's what got me into real estate was the flexibility. And I just happened to love it. And I struggled at first. The first 2 years were very, very rough. I think my first year I made only $11,000. So I went out and I started another company that gave me consistent pay until I can get my to helping this many families a year. And that's when my
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were muted. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. We lost you again, but we lost you at that last second. Can you just say what you said at the ending there?
So I think I finished with, I started having some success when I stopped caring about money and I started caring about families and helping families. And then the money came when I started just trying to help people. I think a lot of times people that are in my position want to make money so bad that they stress out. They don't keep the client's goal first. They have their goals first. So when I started putting my clients' goals first and just started trying to help people. I wanted to help as many people as possible. That's when I was able to go full time and, manage to pay my bills and take care of my child. So I think that's important in anything, is to find a career that you can help people and then help as many people as possible, and everything else will take care of itself.
Awesome. Mr. Michael.
My career has been, I would say, an interesting pathway in a sense, because when I've always been around sales since I was 19 years old. I've always enjoyed sales, or the concept of sales. And to me, it was, what could I do that would to have my interest, that I could continue doing what I thought a sales career would be. So when I came out of college, I came into the banking industry right out of college, and I did that for about almost 6 years. And in with the mortgage business. But to be honest, I didn't like the industry that much. I didn't like the way the process was on trying to get a loan and all that. It just, at the time, it just wasn't my cup of tea, so to speak. And I left that and went into orthopedic sales, and was in orthopedic sales for 25 years. And then 2 years ago, I had an epiphany of wanting to come a different way of doing something where I can make some decent income, but control my hours and travel and do some of the things I wanted to do. And I've come back to the mortgage industry, which it's not quite the same as it was when I did it back 25 years ago. Now it's quite a bit different in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of similarities to it too. And I've been able to move along pretty well, relatively quickly. So it's just, again, the sales process and what you need to do in order to get yourself in front of realtors, accountants, attorneys, and convince people that you're a problem solver, that you've got their clients and their interest at best, and you're going to get these loans closed. Specifically for realtors like Reggie. I mean, everybody's paid unless their client gets to closing for their house. So, and it's an important part. You're really helping people make probably the biggest financial decision they're going to make in their lives is buying a house. And that's just not a process that anybody really, as much as we look at it, it's not a decision that anybody should take lightly. And you really need to make sure that you've got somebody with you that's giving you the best interests for you, not on a short-term basis, but on a long-term basis. So for me, I've come back around, but I'm glad I'm here, and I couldn't have gotten in it at a better time.
Wow, that's amazing. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but we didn't really get deep dive into that piece. How did you get to where you are today?
Is that for me, Johnny?
For both of you. I'm going to ask the both of you.
Well, I got to where I was basically through hard work. I have friends that are realtors. I know a lot of people don't talk to people in their industry when it's so competitive, but some of my greatest advice have come from other realtors. And we're in an area where there are a lot of realtors and a lot of work and a lot of competition, but I got to where I was by basically finding people that I admired, whether I knew them or not, and whether they know or not, just mimicking things that they do. If I saw somebody that said something that stuck with me, then I would start saying that. If I saw a marketing plan that I liked, I would basically mimic that. Making it my own, of course, because you have to be genuine, because everyone can see through people that aren't genuine. So the hard work and finding others that were successful and copying them, copycat, basically. So, and I actually like what I do, and I like helping people. And my advice is, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, do it because you got to pay bills, but figure out what you like to do, what you don't mind doing for 20 or 30 or 40 years, and then pour yourself into it. So I enjoy what I'm doing. It makes it easier when the times get hard, because, every business ebbs and flows. But I love helping people. I love helping people find homes, and I love connecting people. So that's the way that's how I got to where I am today.
Thank you.
I don't think my story is that much different. I think that, again, if I could say one thing where it's helped me be successful in certain ways is you've got to find, and I've been capable of finding things that I'm interested in that I like. And if you become passionate about it, it's not so much a job as this the drudgery of going to something you don't like to do. And specifically, even with something you heard Reggie's story in the beginning, and I think mine's not that much different. In the beginning, it's a grind. It's tough, and you've got to have the fortitude and the confidence in yourself that you know that you're going to get through this and you're going to get to the other side. And one of the problems, if you're not passionate about it, you're probably going to quit, and that's success. You're not going to get the success or any type of success with that kind of attitude. And it's not fair in some ways because you're trying to do something you really don't want to be doing. So if you find something that you like to be doing, and you're going to, as my dad used to tell me, anything worthwhile, you gotta go out and earn it. And you're going to go through a tough time. No one's going to really give anything. I will say, for me, I've been very lucky because I've had certain people take an interest in me and kind of show me pathways to be successful. I guess mentors, as Reggie would put it out. I've been and I think sometimes, I know a lot of us don't really want to admit it, but it does take a little luck. And, you know, if you're working hard, it's amazing how that luck will come around. You know, it might be that one individual that does take an interest that opens a door, whether it's in mortgages or real estate, and all of a sudden a whole plethora of business can start coming your way. But basically, I think Reggie's got it right. You gotta put your nose to the grind. You gotta work. You gotta do it daily. And eventually, if you are doing it smart, it will pay off. I've not noticed anybody with that work ethic that hasn't really been successful doing it.
Very true. And just to piggyback off a little bit, because for our student viewers, I think it's very important that you hear that you have to be passionate about it. I can't tell you what to do. Somebody else can't tell you what your passion is. You have to feel that passion. And I think that's something key that I don't think a lot of our kids are listening to right now. They think they have to be like mom and dad. They have to be like grandpa. They have to be like uncle. And I see that within various industries. If we look at the police force, how many people have their family members that were in the police academy and into the police force? How many were in firefighter school and being firefighter? You know, if that is not your passion, man, you got to go and you have to find what that passion is for you, and don't waste your time, because I look at it as we got this one time to give it all, and you have to be able to do that. But
can I interject one other thing, Johnny? I also think if you have that passion, you have to listen to that passion, because other people are going to come and tell you can't do it. Oh, you're not going to be successful at this, or how are you going to make a living at that? And again, my father used to tell me, I don't care if you're passionate and you're good at what you do, you will find a way to make a good living at what you want to do. It's just having that within yourself and the confidence in yourself to know that this is what I want to do. And you figure out a plan to do it and you go out and create it. It's not going to be easy. And that plan might go in different directions. I've been pulled in 15 different directions that I've never thought I would go in. And it's kind of more of how life is, the adventure, not the destination. And that's kind of, you will be learning all along the whole way, but you know, you can't just say it's got to be this way. You can't be that rigid, but you're going to have a lot of negativity around you, and you just got to be able to, that if you have that passion, you'll know that you can get through all that.
Right. Well, that was awesome advice, and I appreciate that. And before we close, because I know we're time is of the essence in our business world, right? What is that one piece of advice that you received coming through your industry that has stuck with you to see you through?
One piece of advice?
Just one. I know there's lots.
For me personally, it's what someone said to me a long time ago. When it's bad, it doesn't stay bad. And when it's good, it doesn't stay good. And it's how you conduct yourself through both those waves. You know, it's when you're doing well, you know, it's great to enjoy the moment and to save and be ready, but most likely that's going to only stay for a certain period of time. It could be a year, it could be 10 years, but at some point you're going to hit a rocky road. And And then as bad as it gets, as dark as it gets, it doesn't stay that way. You just keep going forward, put the foot in front of the other, and eventually a door gets opened, a window gets opened, or a crack gets in, and you slide through and things start to get better.
Oh, I like that one.
And for me, it's a piece of advice that I received decades ago from a homeless person when I asked him, how do you live like this? Most people would want to end their life and not live like this. And he told me to chase the sun. He said, no matter what happens, the sun will always rise. So if you chase the sun, you have to rise too. And I believe that wholeheartedly with every fiber in my body. And that's the way I live my life. You just got to get up every day and just have faith that things are going to work out. Again, that's paired with finding something you love doing and then going through the ebbs and flows and chasing the sun. So chase the sun is my mantra, and that's what I live by, and that's what helps me get through every day.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. I know I said I was going to let you go, and I promise I'm going to do that. But there are kids right now that are, confused. They don't know what life's going to be like after COVID. When will they get back to their friends at school? How do they keep going? How do we get them to know that we're supporting you, we got you, we want to be your mentor? Is there any type of mentorship or leadership programs that you guys can suggest within your industries that are available to them to really get invested into this industry?
Yeah, I first of all, to the children listening to this, none of the adults know what's going on either. So as an adult, I think part of our job is to instill confidence in our youth. So I constantly walk around very, very confident. Everything's going to be okay. And I don't really know when it's going to end and when it's going on. So you're not alone. And again, you just got to keep living every day, being smart and listening to people that you trust, whoever that is in your life. And in our industry, I know that my office is constantly doing internships. We would love to get, again, a young realtor to come in where they just start working with their friends and family once they're 18, and they just start building their business from there. Most realtors that I know started out doing real estate and another job just so they can make sure that other job paid their bills until they were able to have a book of business to sustain their life. So if anyone wanted to do an internship, obviously you know how to get a hold of Johnny. My number is all over the internet. At least I hope it is, because I'm a realtor. So just reach out to me or Johnny, and we could definitely help you at least spend a couple of weeks or a month in the industry, learn a little bit more about real estate and how you can help people with their real estate goals. Food, water, and shelter are the three main things of life, and I help people get their shelter.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would say the same thing as the internships within the banks do internships. Our office down here, we haven't been doing any, but I think our home office in Orlando does internships. I think the one thing I can offer is anybody that's listening to this that wants to talk to me and pick my brain on just about anything, from education to how, the mortgage business, I'm open to it anytime. I'm free. I'll be willing to talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere regarding at least what my adventure has been like and what my experiences and offer my 2 cents on what someone needs to do to get where they want to get. That's probably the best that I think I can offer up.
Well, everybody, you heard it here first. They're sending out a challenge to you. If there is something you want to know about this industry, you have 2 key individuals in the profession that will be willing to guide you and lead you. Get Connected here to put that into operations for you. And I just want to thank both of you gentlemen for your time and your energy into this conference with me, because it's a missing link to our youth, I believe. So I think this is going to be something great that we're beginning here at Get Connected and working with professionals such as you all. And I just want to thank you for your time again today, for what you've given to the students, the adults, and whoever watches. We thank you.
Johnny, thank you.
John, I want to thank you too. I've heard thousands of people say somebody should do something that teaches kids things that they don't learn in school. And no one has done anything until you did this. So thank you for stepping up. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Well, if you want to see some more content, some more information about what we're doing within different industries, I challenge you. Tomorrow and Thursday, join us from 1 and 3 p.m. as tomorrow we'll be talking with the finance industry, nonprofit, and entrepreneurs. We look forward to seeing you. Make sure you get connected at Get Connected LLC on YouTube. Thank you all so much.